Introduction. Are you trapped in the laziness loop you created yourself? Have you ever experienced this feeling? Pushpin, you wake up in the morning with a long list of plans in your head. Today, I will work hard and get everything done. But then, you pick up your phone, scroll through social media, watch a few TikTok videos, and before you know it, 2 hours have passed. Pushpin, you open your laptop, ready to work, but then think, I'll do it later, let me just finish this first. You procrastinate again and again, and by the end of the day, you've accomplished nothing. Pushpin, you feel guilty, disappointed in yourself. You tell yourself, tomorrow will be different. But when tomorrow comes, you repeat the exact same cycle. And just like that, the laziness loop continues, day after day, week after week. You feel stuck in a life with no progress, no motivation, and worse, no idea how to break free. Why are you lazy? Why do you know you need to work, yet still procrastinate? Is there a way to break this cycle of laziness? The answer is yes. Let me tell you a story. A story I've never told anyone before. The story of someone so lazy that it seemed impossible to turn things around, yet they discovered a simple method that changed their life forever. And the best part? You can apply it today. White right pointing backhand index, keep reading to uncover this secret, a secret that, if I had known sooner, would have saved me countless hours of wasted time. Part 1. The story of a professional procrastinator. Imagine a day in my life a few years ago. A day that wasn't special in any way, yet it was identical to hundreds of other days I had wasted. Morning, the never-ending battle with my bed. Pushpin 9 a.m. The alarm rings. Its piercing sound fills the room, but instead of getting up, I reach over and turn it off. Pushpin, just 5 more minutes. I tell myself. But deep down, I know this is the biggest lie I tell myself every single morning. Pushpin 9:05 a.m. The alarm goes off again. I hit snooze. Just 5 more minutes. Pushpin 10 a.m. I jolt awake, not because I want to, but because the sunlight streaming through the window is blinding me. I feel exhausted, even though I've had plenty of sleep. Pushpin, I grab my phone and start scrolling through TikTok. Just a quick scroll to wake myself up, I think. But soon, I'm sucked into a black hole of meaningless videos, a dancing cat, a funny clip, a trending challenge. Pushpin, by the time I realize how much time has passed, it's almost 11 a.m. I sigh. It's too late now. I'll start working in the afternoon. Afternoon, the broken promise to work. Pushpin, I drag myself out of bed and check the fridge for food. Nothing appetizing. Feeling lazy, I order food via an app. Pushpin 11:30 a.m. I eat while watching YouTube. At first, I plan to watch just one video. But then YouTube starts recommending more, 10 secrets of billionaire success. 5 things you must do to change your life. Pushpin, I feel like I'm being productive, when in reality, I'm just watching other people succeed while I do absolutely nothing. Pushpin 1 p.m. I think, okay, time to work. But then I notice I'm feeling a little sleepy. I'll take a short nap first. Pushpin, I lie down. Just 15 minutes. But then. Pushpin 3 p.m. I wake up in a panic. I've overslept. Guilt starts creeping in. But then I quickly justify it, it's too late now. I won't be productive anyway. I'll do it tomorrow. Pushpin, I pick up my phone, and just like that, the entire afternoon slips away meaninglessly. Evening, the guilt of procrastination. Pushpin 6 p.m. I reflect on my day, I have accomplished absolutely nothing. Pushpin, guilt starts eating me alive. I think about all the goals I had set for myself. Heavy checkmark, I wanted to learn a new skill. Heavy checkmark, I wanted to start a personal project. Heavy checkmark, I wanted to change my habits. But in reality, I did nothing. Pushpin 8 p.m. I tell myself, I need motivation. So I open YouTube and start watching motivational videos, success stories, powerful speeches. Pushpin, I feel inspired. I tell myself, tomorrow, I will change. Tomorrow, I will be different. Pushpin 11 p.m. I get into bed, planning to sleep early. But I grab my phone just to scroll for a bit before sleeping. And then I get sucked into another endless loop. Pushpin 1 a.m. I'm still awake. And suddenly, it hits me, tomorrow is just going to be a repeat of today. The invisible trap of laziness. I didn't live like this for just one day, it was my reality for years. Heavy checkmark, I had countless plans, but never followed through. Heavy checkmark, I had dreams, but kept postponing them. Heavy checkmark, I wanted to change, but I didn't know where to start. Then, I realized a terrifying truth. Laziness isn't just a habit, it's a trap. The more you procrastinate, the deeper you sink into it. The more powerless you feel, the less motivation you have to act. And eventually, you accept this stagnant life, convincing yourself that this is just who I am. But there was one thing I didn't know back then. There's a simple way to break free from this trap. And it came to me completely by accident. Right pointing back hand index, continue to the next part to find out what helped me escape this cycle of laziness. Part 2, when laziness starts to destroy my life. Laziness doesn't hit all at once. It sneaks into your life little by little. At first, it's just small moments of procrastination, I'll do it tomorrow. But when tomorrow comes, you repeat the same sentence. Over time, laziness quietly eats away at your life without you even realizing it. And I didn't realize it until it was too late. 1. When laziness turned me into a nobody. I still vividly remember a simple conversation I once dreaded facing. Right pointing back hand index friends asked, "What have you been up to lately?" Right pointing back hand index me. Just the usual. Just the usual. 2 simple words, yet they haunted me for years. Because the truth was, I had nothing to say. I had no achievements, no progress, nothing worth sharing. My life was like a scratched CD, stuck playing the same old song over and over again, a song I was sick of hearing. Pushpin, what about my friends? They were advancing in their careers, learning new skills, starting businesses, making money, and living lives they could be proud of. Pushpin and me? I was merely existing, not living. At first, I thought it wasn't a big deal. It's fine, I'm just taking a break. But as I kept avoiding conversations like these, I had to face a painful truth. Right pointing back hand index, I was slowly losing myself. Right pointing back hand index, I no longer felt confident around my friends. Right pointing back hand index, I hated answering questions about my life. Right pointing back hand index, I felt like I was nothing. This feeling kept growing until I could no longer pretend it wasn't there. 2. Opportunities came. But I didn't take them. Laziness didn't just take away my confidence, it robbed me of precious opportunities one could have had. Pushpin, I once had a chance to work at a great company. A friend recommended me for a position I really wanted, and all I had to do was send my CV. But I kept delaying it. I'll send it tomorrow. And then, they hired someone else. Pushpin, I once had a business idea. I thought about it for months, convinced it was brilliant. But I never took action. Let me do some more research first. Then one day, I saw someone else execute the same idea, and they succeeded. Pushpin, I once wanted to learn programming. I signed up for an online course and even bought the materials. But I never opened them. I'll start on the weekend when I have more time. A year later, I still hadn't started. I had so many chances, yet I let them slip away. And the scariest part? I didn't even realize I was losing them. Looking back, I had to face a bitter truth. Right pointing back hand index, it wasn't because I lacked opportunities. Right pointing back hand index, it wasn't because I wasn't good enough. Right pointing back hand index, it was because I destroyed my own chances, just because I was lazy. 3. I became a spectator in my own life. One day, I sat in a coffee shop, quietly observing the people around me. I saw a group of young entrepreneurs discussing a startup project. They spoke with passion, excitement, and determination. They planned, exchanged ideas, and set clear goals. I watched them, then I looked at myself. Pushpin, I had no projects to discuss. Pushpin, I had no plans to execute. Pushpin, I had no goals to pursue. I was just a bystander, silently watching others build their futures. Pushpin, I watched YouTube videos, but I never applied the knowledge I learned. Pushpin, I read books, but I never put any of the lessons into practice. Pushpin, I dreamed of success, but I never took action. I had become a spectator in my own life. Pushpin, I wasn't the main character. Pushpin, I wasn't even a supporting character. Pushpin, I was just a passerby, watching life go by without doing anything. And that was when I realized. Right pointing backhand index, if I don't change now, I'll be exactly the same 5 years from now. Right pointing backhand index, if I don't take action, I will forever be a failure, not because I lack ability, but because I never even started. The wake-up call, I have to do something. That was the moment I knew I needed to change. But I didn't know where to start. I was too used to procrastination. I was too used to laziness. I wanted to act, but I had no motivation. I wanted to work, but I couldn't make myself start. And then, one day, I stumbled upon something simple yet incredibly effective, something that helped me break free from laziness in just a few days. And the best part? It was surprisingly easy. Right pointing backhand index. Stay tuned for the next part to find out what changed my life forever. Part 3, The Accidental Discovery, a life-changing turning point. There are moments in life that happen completely by chance, yet they have the power to change everything. I wasn't searching for a way to cure my laziness. I didn't plan to turn my life around that day. But what happened by accident made me realize. Small blue diamond, laziness is not destiny. Small blue diamond, being lazy doesn't mean you can't change. Small blue diamond, there is an incredibly simple way to break free from it. And I discovered it completely by accident. 1. An ordinary day. That became extraordinary. It was a cold morning in Saigon. I was just the same as every other day, sleeping in until almost 10 a.m. When I woke up, I didn't feel like doing anything. No motivation, no plans, no interest in anything. I didn't want to work, but I was also tired of lying around at home. So I decided to go outside, not because I thought it would change me, but because I had nothing better to do. I slipped on my sandals, threw on a jacket, and wandered to the nearby park. I had no purpose. I had no plan. I was just walking to kill time. But then, something strange happened. 2. A strange yet exciting feeling. At first, I walked reluctantly. Pushpin, I slowly strolled past the trees. Pushpin, I observed people jogging around me. Pushpin, I felt nothing special. But after about 30 minutes, I noticed something unusual happening in my body. Heavy checkmark, I no longer felt tired. Heavy checkmark, my mind felt lighter and clearer. Heavy checkmark, and most surprisingly, I suddenly wanted to work. This completely confused me. Why had I felt so sluggish before, yet after walking for a while, I was now full of energy? I had never felt this way before. But at that moment, I only knew one thing. Small blue diamond, I wanted to take advantage of this state. So I rushed home, opened my laptop, and started working immediately. For the first time in months, I wasn't procrastinating anymore. 3. Was this just a coincidence? I started wondering. Right pointing backhand index, was this just a lucky fluke? Right pointing backhand index, could I recreate this feeling? Right pointing backhand index, could I use it to fight against laziness? So I decided to experiment. Pushpin, the next day, I did the same thing. I woke up, feeling lazy as usual, but this time, I deliberately took a walk before working. And once again, I felt alert, motivated, and worked more efficiently. Pushpin the day after that, I kept testing. I paid attention to how I felt before and after walking. The result was the same. I was able to work without procrastination. Pushpin, I continued doing this for a week, then a month. And I realized this was not a coincidence. For I had accidentally found a trigger switch to beat laziness. I started thinking deeper. Why did walking have this effect? Pushpin, before walking, I always felt sluggish, unmotivated, and unwilling to do anything. Pushpin, after walking, I felt awake, energized, and eager to take action. I had discovered a trick to trick my brain into starting work. White right pointing back hand index. I didn't need to wait for motivation, I could create it myself. White right pointing back hand index. I didn't need to force myself to work, I could activate my productive state with one simple action. White right pointing back hand index. I didn't need to feel inspired before starting, I just had to walk, and inspiration would come. I had accidentally found a trigger switch for my productivity. 5. Does this work for everyone? I began observing the people around me. Pushpin, hard-working people often exercise in the morning. Pushpin, successful entrepreneurs usually move their bodies before work. Pushpin, creative minds often take walks to find inspiration. And I started to realize something. Small blue diamond, we are not lazy, we are just stuck in a lazy state. Small blue diamond, we don't lack motivation, we just haven't triggered it. Small blue diamond, we don't need to wait for inspiration, we can create it ourselves. All we need is one simple action, walking before working. 6. A simple discovery that could change your life. Imagine this. White right pointing back hand index. You wake up in the morning, feeling lazy as usual. White right pointing back hand index. Instead of forcing yourself to work, you take a 30-minute walk. White right pointing back hand index. After walking, you feel awake, full of energy, and ready to work immediately. White right pointing back hand index. You start working without struggling to push yourself. Just one small change, but it could change your entire life. And the best part? White heavy checkmark. It's so simple that anyone can do it. White heavy checkmark. It doesn't require motivation, it generates motivation by itself. White heavy checkmark. It's not just a hack, it's backed by science. I tested it, and it transformed my life forever. But why does this work? Is there scientific evidence behind this method? How can you apply it immediately? Stay tuned for the next part to uncover the scientific secrets behind this powerful method. Part 4. Decoding the science. Why does this work? As I delved deeper into the subject, I discovered that small blue diamond, when we move, our brain releases dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin, chemicals that create feelings of happiness, motivation, and focus. Small blue diamond exercise increases blood flow and oxygen to the brain, making you feel more alert and clear-headed. Small blue diamond. According to research from the University of Georgia, light exercise can help restore energy up to 3 times faster than simply resting. In other words, we can trick our brain into becoming more productive just by walking. Part 5. How to apply this method today, making sure it works for you. At this point, you might be thinking, white right pointing back hand index. This sounds great, but will it actually work for me? White right pointing back hand index. Can something as simple as walking really change my life? White right pointing back hand index. I've tried many ways to overcome laziness, but always gave up. How is this any different? I understand the doubts. When I first realized this method, I thought the same thing. It's just walking. How can it possibly defeat my laziness? But the truth is, the secret isn't in the walking itself. The secret is in how you use it. Let me show you how to maximize this method so you can start today and see real results. 1. Core principle: stop waiting for motivation, trigger it. Do you know the most dangerous reason why you keep procrastinating? Pushpin, you wait for inspiration. Pushpin, you wait to feel motivated before you start. Pushpin, you wait for a magical day when you wake up full of energy. But that day will never come. White right pointing back hand index. Motivation doesn't appear on its own, it is created. White right pointing back hand index inspiration doesn't come to you, you have to trigger it. Think back to times when you reluctantly started something, but after a while, you got into the flow and lost track of time. That's because the feeling of wanting to work only appears once you start taking action. Pushpin and walking is the simplest trigger switch for action. Rocket, you don't need to feel like working to start, you just need to walk, and the feeling will come naturally. 2. Step-by-step guide, how to start this method today. Now that you understand the principle, let's get into the practical steps to ensure your success with this method. Step 1. Choose a trigger switch that works for you. Walking is one of the most effective methods, but if you don't like walking, you can choose a different form of movement. The most important thing is, heavy check mark. It must be simple, doesn't require much preparation. Heavy check mark. It must be light, not too exhausting. Heavy check mark. It must last at least 15 to 30 minutes. White right pointing back hand index. Some alternatives to walking. White heavy check mark. Light jogging, if you want a stronger endorphin boost. White heavy check mark. Jump rope, if you want to feel energized quickly. White heavy check mark. Stretching exercises, if you prefer something relaxing. White heavy check mark. Slow cycling around the neighborhood, if you like movement but don't want to walk. Step 2. Create a destination when you move. A small trick to make this method even more effective is Pushpin. Give yourself an interesting destination while walking. For example, white right pointing back hand index. Walk to your favorite coffee shop. White right pointing back hand index. Walk to a nearby park. White right pointing back hand index. Walk to a place with a beautiful view that inspires you. Rocket, why? When you have a destination you enjoy, you'll feel more motivated to walk. And when you reach that place, you'll feel ready to work immediately. If you work from home, you can try this. White right pointing back hand index. Walk around your neighborhood for 30 minutes, then go straight to your workspace and start working. White right pointing back hand index. Walk inside your home, then sit at your desk and begin immediately. Warning sign important, do not lie down on your bed after walking, you'll fall back into laziness instantly. Step 3. Take action immediately when you feel energized. This is the most crucial key to success. Pushpin. After walking, there will be a moment when you feel awake, full of energy, and ready to work. White right pointing back hand index. The moment that feeling appears, jump into work immediately. Crossmark. Do not wait. Crossmark. Do not check your phone. Crossmark. Do not browse social media or watch YouTube. White heavy check mark. If you need to write, open your document and start typing. White heavy check mark. If you need to study, open your book and start reading. White heavy check mark. If you need to work, open your laptop and start right away. Electric light bulb. Once you begin, your brain will naturally pull you into the workflow. Rocket. You don't need to force yourself to focus, just start, and focus will come on its own. Step 4. Repeat this daily until it becomes a habit. Pushpin. If you do this once, you'll see it works, but you'll probably forget about it later. Pushpin. If you do this every day, it will become part of your life. Rocket. Try doing this for 7 consecutive days, and you'll notice a drastic change. White heavy check mark. You'll procrastinate less. White heavy check mark. You'll find it easier to start working. White heavy check mark. You'll feel more energized and productive. 3. The most important question, will you try this today? You now know the method. You now understand why it works. You now have a detailed guide to apply it immediately. But the most important question is, fire. Are you willing to try it right now? Fire. Pushpin. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't overthink it. Get up right now, step outside, and take a 15 to 30-minute walk. Pushpin. After walking, go back to your workspace and start working on something you've been procrastinating on. Rocket. If you are truly serious about changing your life, try it now and feel the difference yourself. And once you try it, come back here and leave a comment. White right pointing back hand index. I tried it, and it really works. White right pointing back hand index. I haven't tried it yet, but I will do it now. Electric light bulb, take action now, because only action can change your life. Rocket Fire. If you want to continue discovering simple yet life-changing secrets, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Together, we will break free from procrastination and become the best versions of ourselves. Rocket Fire.